Hello, America. It's been a while since I made a video. Been sick, I have cancer. But I got a few good movies for you guys, videos. I'm trying to buy a Promaster, and I've been looking at 21s, and everybody seems to be dumping them. And so no one really knows why, but I figured it out. Rock Auto, you can go by year and look at the engines that are in these things. So what happened in 22 and 23, they went to the VVL. Here's the system right here. Lot different rocker. See that little roller right there? Let me show you. I have a little fork here. Okay, so see that little roller? Everything used to be up inside of it, and it would wear out the outside. Well, now there's nothing on the inside. Now everything's on the outside, and they're not having the problems they did with the first and second generation. So that's the first thing. Well, the first thing is they got the third generation motor in the ProMasters, 23 and 22. And other than that, there's a few other things. Remember, on this motor, I have a Gen 2, and if you watch Motor City Mechanic David Pike, he's a genuine Mopar mechanic. He's not this fly-by-night, put in used cams and oh, I forgot my torque wrench, oh, I forgot my gapper, doing a half-ass job, basically. He's not one of those kind of guys. He does it really good, and he told us this was going to start happening, so I bought one of these for my car. I have a 15 Charger, and this is the one. You can buy it now from Mopar, but Dorman makes it now. That's for the thermostat. That's the bleed screw. And then right here, with that heater hose on it, is the crossover pipe, and that hooks underneath the thermostat, and it feeds water from this head to this head. And that, on most cars, other than the new generations, are all plastic, and it fails. And so does that little screw right there. And part, as David Pike says, there's a little piece out here of forged, like imprint, that goes bad too. So, and this comes with a genuine, I think it's, I can't think of the brand, Moore or something like that. I don't know. I can't think of it. I have one. So anyway, that's the OEM maker. So Molly, excuse me. Molly thermostat. Okay, so here basically is the issue. Here's the rocker arm, non-adjustable. Here are the rollers that roll on the cam, and it's under. There's two variable lifts. One lift and then another lift, and that's different. The VVT is just timing, and this has timing plus VVT, or just VVL also. So it's got both, so it'll give you a couple more miles per gallon. But because they moved all this surface area out here, all those issues, and basically doubling the amount and changing the pin bearings that are in there, or needle bearings, whatever they're called, that should eliminate the rocker arm failures. And I work on these cars, and I just haven't had any yet, so I know they're from 16 up, but I have a 15, and I've yet to do it on mine, and they're supposed to have better ones in there. I just don't trust them. I know they, all the old Dodge Chargers and 300s and Challengers, they all have that junky motor in there, so not junky, but more prone to a problem. So this should hopefully solve our problem. So by the way, I'm going to get a ProMaster 22 or 23, probably a brand new one. So Okay. Anyway, this made a point. They're avoiding direct injection, so that's something you want to avoid like the plague. And these don't have direct injection; they're port injection. Here is another really great feature. This is a Gen 2, but the Gen 3 are just the same. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want to put headers on it." Dude, you can't. The headers, the exhaust manifold, right there, right here, right there, and here's the output from the exhaust manifold, is built into the head. So you can't do it. There's your starter. It's pretty close. Pretty easy to change it, by the way. That's the solenoid and the starter's down below. But this here, it's just a mechanism for closing, and there's absolutely no problems with it. So, maybe in upstate New York or something, but it takes care of all that. And here's there's a low tension piston rings. There's a few other things. A lot of friction reduction. I'm trying to think if there's anything you need to look at here. You can see here things look different. The water pump looks different, and also the crossover pipe here looks different. It's all aluminum instead of plastic. This here won't break off. The plastic one used to break off. And there's a few other things. So the thermostat is slightly different, and just so you know, the PCV valve, which is super critical to change every 30,000 miles, not 100. That one just turns on now. So, and they do leave a little bit of room for it, because remember, when you use a transverse motor, then it's in the back, next to the driver back there, but really easy to change. So you can see the water pump, really nice water pump here. I think they use a Gates. Don't quote me on that, but better attachment and better harmonic balancer, and even a little better mechanism used here for the tensioner for the serpentine belt. And they have a cooled EGR. I don't know if you need to know much about it, but a lot of diesel engines do that. But so the compression ratio went up from 10.2 to 11.3. That should give you a little better gas miles. They revived the intake manifold, and that works. The intake manifold, the lower one, works on all the generations, by the way. I have it in my Dodge Charger. And I think that's it. Okay, that's it for that. And then there's one other really big thing. Rumor has it on the 3500 23, they put Shimano springs in the back. They're just recoil bump stops, basically, but they really work good. And they put a little better tires on it, a little bit better brakes, and semi-metallic to help stop that beast. Towing capacity, I think you can only haul 4,400 pounds in it, which is 2 tons, by the way. It's a lot of weight. I mean, better than some Ford pick-em-up trucks, Anyway, or you can tow 6,900 pounds. That's absolutely incredible. So, anyway, and one other thing is very important, don't forget about it, is they went to the new 9-speed. And that 9-speed's been around for a while. It was in motors like, it was mated to the 200, I think, and a few other vehicles. And to tell you the truth, wasn't doing very good with it. But they've seemingly got most of the knocks out of it. ZF, which it it is a ZF transmission. ZF said that most of it was software, so they got that thing tuned up now. The only problem, like the 62 TE, which is all the trannies that are in everything 21 and down, to at least 14, then you get into Sprinter kind of crap, Remember, these are made by Fiat, Stellantis, and Ducati. Ducati really makes this one in Europe. Ours are made in Mexico, and down where Auto City is, crossing the border of America. Still, I don't know. I can't remember the name. Sorry. Everybody knows what it is. So, but this problem with this transmission, you have to use ATF Plus, which is a little bit pricey, but that's not really the problem. When you service this transmission, unlike the 62 TE, which you could take the bottom off, take the filter out, and drain it, and do it a few times and get everything out of the converter. This one, you can't. You have to pull it out of the car. To pull the filter out, the tranny's got to come out of the car. I've checked, many people I've talked to, quite a few Mopar mechanics, and that's what they're saying. The thing is, it's a little bit different kind of filter, so it may not need to be changed as much. And, but, maybe it's just made good through warranty, and whatever. They don't give a rip after that. I'm not really sure. So, anyway, just realize if you service it, all you can do is drain and fill. And they do have a nice drain thing on there. And these transmissions, they're not really made for these big trucks. So they really need to have the fluid change between 20 and 30. Now, you may scoff at that, but you'll be scoffing at $68,000 if you have to replace the sucker. So I would definitely change it. My 8-speed with my Hurst shifter, I really like it. I have a 15, and I bought it with 30. It was a year old. And then when I got to about 80, 82 or so, it started slipping just a little tiny bit. And so what I did is I had thought I hit something, and I did. I hit something. I hit something in the middle of the road. Some people from below the border that wouldn't seemingly be here was sabotaging my car, pranking me, and they threw a big rock in front of my car, which I promptly stopped, and the kid was scared half to death, so I took care of the situation. I don't remember the police showing up, but I did take care of the situation because I'm always prepared. And anyway, but I brought it to the garage, and they said, well, you need a new filter, and part of your transmission's cracked, and And this is Crown Dodge, in Ventura. And I didn't really trust them, so I went to their service department, and I got a filter, which is the pan and OEM stuff. That was about $150, and then I have the 845 RE, that Chrysler made one. See, it is a ZF transmission though, designed. Anyway, and then I got, six quarts of 8-9 speed transmission fluid, which should be about $40 a piece, but the guy, he's my friend, and I didn't seem to pay much for that anyway. So, anyway, and then the gasket's already built in, you don't need that. So I took it home, and then my buddy that works at the Navy took me over. This is pre-COVID, by the way, just barely. And we changed it, and then it didn't take too long, and I followed all the instructions for the temperature and all that stuff. So, and I've never had any ounce of problem since. I've only put about 10,000 miles on since, but it sure likes it. And by the way, you watch one of my videos, you can put oil into this transmission through the vent valve that's up in the motor, up by the oil filter assembly. There's a little device there, and if you lift it up in the air, you can put fluid into your transmission. That way, if you just need to add a little bit. I've added a couple of quarts in there. I put 4 in, and it needed 5. So I added another quart, and it worked really good. It was a little bit slow, but it worked good. And I have a nice little, I do it right in front of you, so you know how to do it. So, and everybody says, you're going to wreck your tranny. Come on. Come on, people. Come on. Do you think I was born yesterday? Come on. Oh, my God. Most of my naysayers are from one political party. YouTube says I can't say it anymore. So, anyway, I hope this has been helpful for you. I can't think of anything else. The Promaster, by the way, you can put a queen bed sideways in the back. And it's the only one to do it. This year in 23, they're going to have an extra high roof. Seems like it's about 10 inches higher. Going to probably be a lot more money. And so you don't need those puff outs and stuff in the back. You can, a 6-foot guy can lay back there and do just fine. And the Promaster works really good. You can put a shower in there. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to put a shower in there, and I'm going to die, probably pretty soon. But I'm going to die in comfort, and my wife's going to drive me around America, and we're going to see the last things like the Grand Canyon I've never seen. I drove by it at night, but I just never stopped to see it. So we're going to go up and see the presidents up in the Dakotas. And, I've seen a lot of it, but there's more I want to see. And I want to go to Key West again and do some street preaching. God knows those people need it. And I got a friend that has a key lime pie restaurant, chain of them actually, and I want to go get he always gives me a free key lime pie, and I give him a $20 bill in his pocket. So he's a nice guy. He was a patient of mine once. So anyway, nice guy. Hey, I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, I'm not just the Pentastar dude. Dude, I know a lot about Promasters now, so I think I'm going to change my name and put that in there. So hope you guys enjoy this. It's free of charge. I asked you to subscribe and all that other stuff. Comment. It helped me. I got about 410 subscribers. I don't need 1 million of them because I'm not going to live that long, but it'd be nice that if before I die I get a little bit of money through this. So I'm just doing this to help you guys. I grew up pretty poor and didn't have a lot of money, so I'm going to be showing you how to do mine. It's not going to be the fanciest, but let me tell you, it's going to be luxurious. It's going to have a nice shower, and it's going to have a nice composting or a cassette toilet that's unlike any other one. Thetford uses one. It integrates with the shower pan. I'm going to use a knotless door and a fan in it and maybe a skylight. And I'm going to have a shitload of solar on it, and everything will be electric. And I'm going to heat the hot water with the car's motor. Easy to do, people. Easy to do. And all the parts are available. You just have to put it together. And pretty reasonable. And that's it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed all this. I've enjoyed bringing it to you. I'll try to bring you more. And God bless. Bye-bye.